Listen, you're overthinking it. You're checking her Instagram stories to see who she's watching. You're analyzing her response times. You're wondering if that guy in her comments is someone she's interested in. And while you're sitting there driving yourself crazy, you're missing the signs that are right in front of you. The signs that tell you you're not just another option. You're the one taking up space in her mind. But here's what's going to shock you. One of these signs is so counterintuitive, so opposite of what you'd expect, that when I reveal it later in this video, you're going to think I'm lying. But it's backed by psychology. And once you see it, you'll realize you've been reading everything wrong. I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, the subtle behaviors that reveal the truth. And I'm going to expose the one thing she does that 99% of guys misinterpret as disinterest when it's actually the biggest sign she's obsessed with you. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you at the 7-minute mark will completely flip your understanding of female psychology. So let's start with something most guys completely miss: the way she protects your connection. And trust me, this first sign alone will make you rethink every interaction you've had, the signs most men overlook. Here's what's happening when you're the only one in her head. And trust me, it's not what you think. You're worried about other guys. But here's the thing. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, really interested, she doesn't just think about you when you're around. She thinks about you when you're not. And that shows up in specific ways that seem almost bizarre. First, notice how she guards your time together. When you make plans, she doesn't flake. She doesn't reschedule last minute unless it's genuinely urgent. And when she does, she immediately offers another time. She doesn't leave it vague. Why? Because time with you matters. It's not just another social obligation. It's something she's looking forward to. But here's where it gets weird. And this is something I need you to remember for later, because it connects to the counterintuitive sign I mentioned. She'll often seem more nervous around you than she is with other guys. Not less, more. Hold that thought. We'll come back to it. Second, watch what she shares with you. I'm not talking about surface level conversation. I'm talking about the things she doesn't post online, the thoughts she doesn't share with everyone else, her fears, her dreams, the random observations that pop into her head. When you're the one she texts with, you won't believe what just happened. That's significant. She's choosing you as the person she wants to process life with. Third, and this is big, she remembers the details, not just your birthday or your job, the small things. That story you told 3 weeks ago about your childhood, the food you said you didn't like, the goal you mentioned in passing. Women remember what matters to them. If she's filing away details about your life, you're occupying mental real estate rentry. But here's where it gets interesting, and I'm warning you now. What I'm about to reveal next contradicts everything you've been taught about attraction. The way she acts around you versus everyone else might actually look like she's less interested. And that's exactly why most men get it wrong. The contrast that reveals everything. Pay attention to this, because this is where the truth lives. When you're the only one, there's a different energy. She's not the same person with you that she is with other people. And I don't mean she's fake. I mean she's more herself. Her guard is down. She's not performing. She's not trying to impress you the way someone does when they're still in interview mode. She'll say things to you she wouldn't say to others. She'll be vulnerable in ways that make her nervous. And you can tell it makes her nervous because she'll sometimes catch herself and laugh or make a joke to break the tension. That nervousness, that's not a bad sign. That's her caring about what you think. That's her being invested. Now, here's the thing. Most guys get wrong. They think if she's interested, she'll be calm and confident all the time. But real interest creates a little chaos, a little electricity. She might stumble over her words. She might laugh too hard at something that wasn't that funny. And here's something that's going to blow your mind. Sometimes she'll even seem to pull back. She'll take longer to respond. She'll seem distant for a day or two. Most guys panic when this happens. They think she's losing interest. They think she's talking to someone else. But what if I told you this is often a sign that you're the only one she's thinking about? What if her pulling back is actually her trying to protect herself because she's falling too hard too fast? Stay with me, because I'm going to prove this to you in a minute. And when you understand why this happens, you'll never misread a woman again. That's not her being awkward. That's her feeling something real. And then there's the physical tells, the way her body responds before her words do. She leans in when you talk. She finds reasons to be close to you, not in an obvious way, but in small adjustments, turning her body toward you, touching your arm when she makes a point. Her pupils dilate when she looks at you. Her face lights up when you walk into a room. And I know that sounds like movie stuff, but it's real. The body doesn't lie. Compare that to how she is with other guys. Polite, friendly, but measured. There's a wall there that doesn't exist with you. But now comes the part that's going to change everything. The communication pattern that separates you being the only one from being just another option. And I'm warning you, one of these patterns is going to sound completely backwards. Before we go there, do me a favor. Hit the like button if you're still with me, because what's coming next is going to give you complete clarity, and it might make you uncomfortable, but it's the truth. Let's keep going. The communication pattern that can't be faked. This is where you get certainty, because communication patterns don't lie. When you're the only one in her head, she initiates, not just sometimes regularly. She's not waiting for you to always reach out first. She's texting you random thoughts, sending you memes, starting conversations that have no agenda. And here's the key. She's consistent. Her interest doesn't spike and disappear. It's steady. She's engaged. Even when life gets busy, she finds moments to connect. But here's where I need to tell you something that's going to sound insane. And this is the counterintuitive sign. I promised you, sometimes when you're the only one in her head, she'll go completely silent for days, maybe even a week or two, and I can already hear what you're thinking. That doesn't make sense. If I'm the only one, why would she disappear? Here's why. And this is psychology most people don't understand. The disappearing act that actually means she's Alan. When a woman starts catching real feelings, feelings she didn't plan for, feelings that scare her because they're intense, she'll sometimes create distance to protect herself. It's not that she's talking to other guys. It's not that she's losing interest. It's that she's terrified of how much space you're taking up in her mind. Think about it. When something matters to us, really matters, we become more cautious. We overthink. We pull back to regain control. She's thinking, I'm texting him too much. I'm being too available. What if he doesn't feel the same way? I need to slow down. And so she goes quiet. Not because she doesn't care, but because she cares too much. Now, here's how you know it's this and not genuine disinterest. When she comes back, and she will come back, the energy is stronger. She's warmer. She's more engaged. It's like she missed you, but won't admit it. She might even acknowledge the silence with something like, sorry, I've been weird lately, or I've just been in my head. That's the tell. That's her admitting, without saying it directly, that you got in her head and she needed space to process it. Most guys mess this up because when she goes silent, they panic. They double text, they chase, they demand answers, and that pushes her away. But if you understand what's really happening, you give her that space. You stay confident. You stay busy with your own life. And when she comes back, you welcome her without making it a big deal. That's when she realizes you're different. That's when she knows you understand her. And that's when she stops pulling back and leans all the way in. But there's more. There's another sign that's so subtle, most men miss it completely. And it has to do with how she protects what you have from the outside world, the protection you don't see. This is subtle, but once you notice it, you can't unsee it. When you're the only one in her head, she creates boundaries with other people, not in an obvious, dramatic way, but in small, consistent ways. She doesn't entertain attention from guys who are clearly interested. She shuts it down kindly, but firmly. She doesn't keep options warm. She's not collecting backup plans. And here's something wild. She might even hide you from certain people at first. Not because she's ashamed, but because she's protective. She doesn't want outside opinions influencing something that feels special. This is the opposite of what you'd expect, right? You'd think if she's serious, she'd be showing you off. But sometimes in the early stages, she guards it. She keeps it private because it matters too much to risk. And with her friends, when she does talk about you, she talks about you differently. You're not this guy I'm talking to. You're you by name, with details, with excitement. Her friends know about you because she can't help but mention you. That inside joke, that thing you said, that place you went. You've become part of her story. And here's the thing, when a woman is serious about someone, she wants her people to like you. She's thinking about integration, not isolation. She's imagining how you fit into her world. But beyond all of that, she fights for the connection. When there's a misunderstanding, she doesn't just let it sit, she addresses it. She cares about resolving things because losing you isn't an option she's comfortable with. Most guys miss this because they're so busy looking for red flags that they don't see the green ones. And now here's the final piece, the one thing that ties everything together and gives you absolute certainty, the reality check and the one final test. Here's what you need to understand. If you're seeing these signs, multiple signs consistently, you're not one of many, you're the one. But if you're not seeing them, if you're constantly questioning, constantly anxious, constantly feeling like you're competing for attention, that's your answer too. And here's the final test, the one that never lies. Watch what happens when you pull back slightly, not in a game-playing way, but when you're genuinely busy with your own life for a few days. If you're the only one in her head, she'll notice, she'll reach out, she'll check in, she'll initiate, because your absence creates a void. She feels if you're just an option, she won't even notice you're gone. And that tells you everything, because here's the brutal truth. When someone wants you in their life, truly wants you, they make it clear, not through words, but through consistent action, through the way they show up, through the space they make for you. You don't have to decode mixed signals. You don't have to convince them. You don't have to perform or prove your worth. You just have to pay attention to the signs that matter, to the patterns that reveal the truth, even the counterintuitive ones that seem backwards. And when you see them, when you know you're the only one in her head, that's when you stop doubting and start building something real. Remember that counterintuitive sign I told you about, the pulling back, the silence? That's often the biggest indicator that you're not just in her head, you're consuming it. Most men run when they see this, but now you know better. Now you understand what's really happening, and that gives you power. If this helped you see things more clearly, drop a comment with the word clarity and hit that subscribe button, because we're diving deeper into female psychology in the next video. You won't want to miss